Basically, for anybody that doesn't know, we made a comic book that goes along with the most recent album, Stars in the Final Live. I want to say
/ lyric book.
/ lyric book.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love it because it's not just, you can literally listen to the songs and the lyrics play along with the images, and it's really, really cool. But before we get into the Stars in the Final Lie, I want to go back.
Oh, no.
No, I want to go back, and I want you to help understand, like, the previous 2 EPs we made. The first one was called Sparks, and then the second one was called Epitaph. And we sort of just wrote those. I don't know. I feel like the writing process is always very. It starts out just with guitar riffs and drums, and we see how things go together. But then
It has grown a little bit since that. But
also somewhere in there, I feel like you guys take off and do something where it all misses me. So like you'll come in and you go, well, in this one they're going to do this thing, and blah, and it's got lyrics all of a sudden, and now there's a concept, which makes it, to me, is incredibly exciting. And I only sort of learn about it as I'm hearing the lyrics at practice or whatever, and I have to sort of ask, wait a minute, like that happened a lot on the Stars and Final Lie. I go, wait, there's Ramona? Who's Ramona?
I wanted to give you the fair grace of saying, no pun intended, of saying, I didn't tell you guys that I wrote a concept album until we were like halfway through recording it, if you remember, or at least writing it. Like, I think you and I talked some about
We're
the
off making
conceptual stuff.
plans.
Yeah. And all of a sudden everyone was like, wait, there's a story? And I was like, yeah, there's a story.
What is it like for you, Dylan? Like, at what point do you feel like there's a concept?
When do you get fed up?
So a lot of it is in Hunter's mind. Like, I feel like I am poking Hunter or like trying to squeeze him for
Sure.
material. Because, like, you know, you and I are just writing guitar riffs, or like we might have an idea, but we don't necessarily go like, well, this song's about this. We're like, this riff sounds cool. Hunter can write some cool melody over this.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of, and so for Stars and Final Lie, especially, like, the concept and the songs were kind of developed simultaneously because, like, COVID happened.
yeah,
that's
that was
right.
a big part of it.
That's
Warp
true.
Drive and Crashing were already in the mix.
And Ramona, you and I wrote in the hall.
Yeah.
Like the bass version of it.
That's right.
So
In this hall right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were writing or rehearsing or something, and I showed Dylan the lyrics or something, and I was like, I have a melody for this one, because as you know, that's super rare. He was like, it's okay to agree. I was like, I have one. He goes, let me hear it. So we just went out in the hall, and he found, like, I'm sure it changed plenty since then, but the chords of the song were based on like a thing that I kind of sang to him
Like Perfect
originally.
Design.
Yeah, like we
Interesting.
did with Perfect Design originally.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's crazy. See, I never even knew how a lot of these things start. Most of the time, I just assumed Dylan had a riff, and then we wrote. We
Well,
sort
that
of,
is mostly true.
that is most of the songs, right? But so go back real quick to, and I remember, like, we all. So for anybody listening that liked those first 2 EPs, like that if you were into those, we all got together and kind of wrote them. But then later, when we were putting them together, Hunter, you said, like, well, there's going to be a theme here, and the theme. What was the theme for the first EP? Second one was death, right?
Yeah, the second one was death. So the first one accidentally has a theme. I think that just happened that way. That wasn't on purpose. It was as we were putting EP2 together, and I explained that it was all about death, which, to be fair, was also accidental initially, and then it kind of made sense. Like, it was just those songs gravitated towards each other. But when I looked back on it, I was like, well, the first one is also related, and they have thematic things that go through all 3 of them, actually. So they're not narratively, it's not Coheed and Cambria. They're not linked that way, but...
Tell me what's going on.
Okay.
I'm in this band,
I do
too.
totally get that sense, though. Exactly what he just said.
Oh, excellent. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
How so?
Thank God.
Yeah.
I can't explain it as well as you, but like
You're
when
the outside perspective.
But as like my inside when I see it is like Coheed and Cam. Yeah, so like that's exactly like the concept that I get from it is there's a huge story like that. So seeing this is like, and when I listen to the album, and now that I'm able to put the music and the lyrics to pictures into the words, it's the whole concept of the story comes together, and it makes 100% sense.
That's
and I
great.
like it a lot. And so to hear that, like, you know, you start off with just like a melody, and then you wrote like a guitar riff with it, but you had like a whole concept of like, did you have a concept for a comic book before you even
Oh,
did
boy.
you?
yeah,
Like this
I'm
whole
dying.
story, because like the
No.
whole thing is like, honestly,
yeah.
when you first look at it, you're like, is that a spaceship? Is he on another planet? Like when you're looking at the album, like at first you're like, what is it? And then being able to see like there's like a whole outside.
So when we get to stars through the order you want to ask these in, there's a very particular thing that spurned the story on. I will tell that. What do you want to say about
I'm
addressing the
so
comic book
excited
part?
to hear this because I don't know any of this. I don't know these secrets. Go on.
It's putting me. I feel like a puzzle is being put together in my mind
Prepare
right
to be
now.
disappointed.
And
Prepare to be disappointed.
no, I'm not disappointed at all yet. I mean,
Yet.
I hope. I
You
mean,
finished the 10,000 pieces, and then at the end, you just see this message that said, "You
how do
spent
you think I feel?
Rosebud is a sled.
I'm in the band. I feel like I've been laying on the puzzle that I can't see it, and now they're lifting me up where I can see what the puzzle is.